see that that's missing. I just want to offer you that to consider, right?
Okay.
Because it takes something. It really takes something, right? So here's how you create a high-paying client. If you haven't seen this in the video, I'm going to say it for you and then create it a bit more. You've got to connect with people, and you're going to connect with them in a meaningful way. I don't mean talk about the weather. You might start there, but you've got to start talking about where they're challenged and what they're up to, what their focus is, what they're building, what they're dreaming about, what they're worried about. Start having conversations like that with people. And if you feel that you can help them, invite them to have a session and serve them really powerfully. So the second step is invite. And be really committed that you take on that enrollment call or discovery call like it could be the most important conversation of that person's life. And then in that discovery call, you want to enroll them. You want to help them get clear about their vision, help them get clear about where they want to be in a year or 2 years or 3 years. You want to start coaching them. You want to bring everything that you can in that 60 minutes or 2 sessions over a few days. Now, after you've done that, if you really know and feel that you can help them, you want to offer them your program. And I recommend that you have a program or an offer that's a high fee offer. So I say that anything in the region of like 1,500 to 2.5K and above is high fee. Why that's important is because you're raising the bar for your clients. And you don't want to be the coach with a low bar. No, people don't need that. They've already got a low bar in their life. They need somebody to raise the bar, and they need somebody to show them to believe that they can jump it. So your fees is one way that we raise the bar for your clients. Now, when people are invested more in what they're up to, they'll take more actions and they'll create more results. So this is another reason why you want to have a high fee offer for your clients, because it's actually in service of them. Okay? So you want to offer your program when the fit feels good. That's the fourth step to creating a high-paying client. Now, here's what's going to happen. And you might know this already. You're going to have this experience and it's going to feel great. They're going to be present to having this business that they've got on the beach and they're working with a laptop and it's going to be magical. And then you tell them your fees and then all of their stuff is going to come up. All their fears, all their concerns, all their reasons, all their excuses, like Brexit, like the crisis, like what's happening with George Floyd. I've heard it all. Like I'm pregnant. They're going to use anything. Why? Because they don't believe they can have it. And they're so scared, but they don't really realize that. So your job is to help them have a breakthrough. And how you do that is you do exactly the same thing you would do in any other part of your conversation with your clients where they're stuck. Can anybody guess what that might be? Anybody want to take a stab at guessing?
What was the question again? I'm sorry, I was writing.
Okay, cool. Right, so when you've made your offer and then your client starts telling you reasons and excuses why it's not the right time and all of this stuff, and they're stuck. How are you going to deal with that? Are you going to, Musin?
You're going to provide them with the value.
No, not the value.
No,
they're stuck.
You coach them.
Yeah.
Coach them. And this is a really important thing because what most coaches do is they please them instead. They start being nice and reasonable because they don't want to appear salesy or pushy. But what they've done is they've turned themselves from being a coach to being a cashier.
How about challenging them through coaching?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. We're saying coaching. So whatever coaching looks like to you, asking questions, leaning in, reflecting things back, all of those things that you guys are trained in and know to do. You do it when they're telling you all their reasons why they can't spend the money. Why? Because what they're really saying is, I don't deserve it. I don't believe I can have it. And that's why they don't have it. So all the money conversation is doing is driving that up. And that's your opportunity to coach them and then help them have a breakthrough. And if you can stand for your clients and really lean into that and guide them through it, then you've got a great chance at helping them have that result because they will have a breakthrough. Now, what a lot of coaches are doing is they're looking for the right client. They're looking for the one that's ready. And they're wondering why things are not working because people are so scared. You create clients. You don't find the right ones. The right ones will show up once in 100. Like the ones that are ready to pay you right now, they're 1 in 100. So you create clients through coaching them so they have a breakthrough. And very often that breakthrough is more valuable than anything they've ever had in their life because what they're really saying is, I'm worth it. They're really saying, I'm willing to believe that I can have what I want. All right, so I'd love to hear your insights about this, guys. I'd love to hear from a couple of you that maybe haven't shared yet.
What if you're just starting out?
So Mark, just raise your hand, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay, you don't need to do it now, but I got your question. Yeah, so So yeah, go ahead. So just
I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach, but I'm looking at getting into coaching.
Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur, have a couple businesses, and yeah, I want to help young entrepreneurs get into starting a business.
Great.
But the thing is that I don't really know right now until I get some market data what their pain points are. So that's the goal for me.
What did you write down, Mark? What was the thing you wrote down in your paper?
Oh, sorry.
Right.
I think it was just finding the right niche to focus on.
Okay, cool. Great question, which will answer what you just talked about. Okay, so guys, this is a big one, isn't it? Niche, and I'm sure you're not the only one struggling with it. I struggled with it as well. I didn't even know what it meant 4 years ago. I had to Google it, and then I Googled it and was more confused by the end. And here's what I found, having helped a lot of coaches figure this out and having figured it out myself, is that when you're starting, you're not going to find the right niche. It doesn't work like that. Your niche gets discovered over time. That could be a week or it could be a year. And if you try and get it right before you start, or get your program right before it starts, or figure out all the pain points before you start, you're going to be ineffective and stuck and spinning your wheels until you just can't face that anymore. So the way to do it is you just put a stake in the ground, you use your best thinking, and you start. And Mark, coming back to your original question about market data, you don't get market data. You got to let all of that kind of language go, and instead you start serving clients. And in the serving of clients, you'll ask them about their problems, and you'll start hearing a pattern. Right? Your clients will start showing you everything. They're going to start teaching you everything. They've got all the answers. But you do that as you're building the plane, Mark.
So here's a question. So should I start now?
Yes.
And start getting clients,
yes.
And then figure out what their pain points are?
That's what we show people, and that's what works. Okay. So you imagine the plane. We build the plane on the way up. That's how you figure everything out. All right. And again, this is what it looks like to have a breakthrough. See, I didn't have a niche, Mark, but I generated 60K in 4 months. I didn't even have a business card. All I had was that and the right strategies to talk to people.
So then what were you talking to them about?
Everything that we've been talking
about. You must have had a theme.
No, I was asked, hey, what's your challenge? What are you working on? What are you focused on? Where do you want to be by the end of the year? Where are you stuck? What's the impact of that? I work with people who wanted to find love. I work with people who wanted to build a business. I work with people who wanted to move up the ladder. I work with people who I knew I could serve.
Right.
And then this is what happened with my niche, because I didn't have any idea, but you've got some idea, so you don't need to start so wide. You can start here, and then you narrow it and narrow it and narrow it. And at some point in a month, 6 months, a year, providing that you're doing what works for the industry and serving people powerfully, then you're going to figure it all out that way. And in the process, you're creating income, impact, and learning everything that you need to learn.
Right.
Okay.
So you're saying just start now, ask the questions, find out what the pain points are, solve the problem, and then you'll start to gain traction that way.
Yeah. And when I say start now, see, if you don't know how to build a coaching business, which I'm assuming because you've never done it before, right? So let me check. Have you ever built a coaching business before?
No, this would be my first time.
Right. And has anyone ever effectively shown you how?
I have some pretty successful people in my network, and my best friend's a very successful entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And he's kind of guided me on how I should go about doing this.
Okay, cool. All right. So,
he's the one that told me that I should get market data, talk to a lot of people. There's a lot of problems out there.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to figure out, after talking to people, getting their pain points, come up with a plan to solve their problems. Give them some nuggets, some valuable nuggets. And then they're going to be like, okay, this person is an authority in this niche. I need to work with this person. You build trust with that person, and the person feels comfortable with, what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's really good. That's really good advice. But it's not everything that I would be advising. I'd be advising you go the next step and start offering your program at that point, rather than just keep getting more data. See,
right.
You can talk to somebody and you would actually be doing them a disservice if you didn't offer your program, because they want help now. I've had a conversation with a brand new coach today. In fact, Marianne's one of them. Okay, so Marianne, I used to share, like, one of our clients hadn't created any result for a long time. We had a conversation. I talked to her about her mindset. I showed her the strategy. She created a $3,000 client 2 days later. And I used to share that with all of our potential clients and people that were meeting us. And then Marianne came. Marianne, are you still here?
Hey, Ryan.
Marianne, just share with the guy. And this is not like a plug. Marianne's not here.
No. Ryan, it's kind of funny how it works out, because I'm in the middle of my own challenge at a different stage. Yeah. And I just popped on a call today with Max saying, listen, any chance I could pop into a workshop, because I'm kind of struggling with my own workshop development. And here I am. reaching out to the team that was around me, supporting me. And I actually have never seen this workshop before because I did Ryan's full day workshop and had never had a conversation with him. But the impact of that workshop took me from charging. I've been coaching for 10 years and had moved into creating my coaching business, which is my third business. So I have 3 companies. And I went from charging nothing and giving away my services to getting a £3,000 client before I'd even started the program and had that call with Ryan.
Which was about 3 days.
3 days. Yeah.
3 days. So I used to share that one of our clients created a client 3 days after we spoke, but Marianne did it 3 days before we spoke, right?
Yeah.
And then, Marianne, just because we're here now sharing it, what do you want to share about just a little bit about your experience and just some of your results in the last 10 weeks?
Yeah. I really resonate, Mark, with what you're saying because I am a business owner. I'm a business leader. I've got 3 companies. I'm on a board of directors. I've done a lot of it. But running and knowing how to run a coaching business for me was completely different. And even despite knowing all of that, I was taking that same approach, getting data and everything. That wasn't bringing me in clients. And when I look back now, even though I've been an executive coach for years, I was working in corporates and public services where people were turning up and they had no real accountability to what they actually did with the coaching. And the difference in my coaching has been incredible. And I've been on the program now for Ryan, 10 weeks?
Yeah.
And in 10 weeks, I've made £25,000. And that is, transformative. And it's actually been, the biggest bit is about how it's changed me as a coach. And I look back now into the amount of times that I was in that money conversation. And actually, the moment it came up, I leaned right back. And actually, I didn't just lean, I ran when I look back. And the reason I was doing that is because I hadn't solved my own money issues. And now, whenever I know what the money thing's going to come up, it comes up 98% of the time.
Yeah.
And the moment it does, that's when I really have to up the game in my coaching and lean right in, because that's when they need me. And that's where the real pain is, as to what's lying under the money, because it's never about the money. And all the clients I've had in the last 10 weeks, it's never actually about the money. But they needed me to lean in to discover that. So having that support around you, wouldn't have it any other way. I've got coaches for other businesses. I wouldn't have done it.
Right. Yeah. And obviously, like, incredible results, Marianne, right? And guys, £25,000 in 10 weeks, that's not typical. This is high performance. And but you've really shown up and you've really taken on, and you absolutely deserve that. And I know you're just getting warmed up, right?
Yeah, definitely just warming up. I know that when we had our first conversation and Ryan had said to me on that very first day, what do you want to earn in the first 4 months? And I said 40,000. I am not really believing it, if I'm being honest. And now I know I am absolutely set to get past that. I have every intention of getting past that and moving on to, I want a 6-figure sum at the end of my first year of trading in this company.
Right. Love it. Love it. Great. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Marianne. Really appreciate it. So guys, here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put you in a breakout room and there'll be